So let's start with a fundamental understanding of what is product management. Now, if you try to find an answer to that, I can guarantee you can be completely confused, right? There are so many definitions of it, so many ways of articulating it. A lot of people come from their own perspective and examples, but the best way that I can describe this particular role is essentially it's a mix of art and science, right? It's while it is a specific set of skills that one needs to use, acquire, and use. But at the same time, it's also an art of identifying market opportunities, right? Identifying the problems in the market, the problems that exist for a group of users or buyers, and identifying, quantifying that opportunity, and then driving the team. Now, this is very important because a lot of people unfortunately misunderstand the titles like product owner, right? Product owner doesn't really own a product, right? It's a metaphor for certain things. So this particular role drives the team to develop very compelling alternative, very compelling solution. Why? Because most of the customers, most of the problems, there are alternatives available. The alternatives could be with respect to other products in the market, other solutions in the market, or workarounds and hacks and jugaad, right? People are trying to solve their problem because it's urgent for them. And hence your product, your offering, your solution has to be a lot more compelling, a lot more competitive. And of course, it needs to be profitable for the business, for the company that you're making. Now, how long will it take to be profitable? It depends on what industry you are in, what products you are in, what customers you are in. But essentially the goal is to drive the teams to build compelling, competitive, and profitable products. Right, so that's a basic understanding, of what product management is. Now, I'm sure you're all already aware that it's a very, very hot and happening role in India today, and even in the world. In fact, the interest in product management has skyrocketed in the last 3 years. Some of us who have been product managers for more than a decade are actually quite surprised with the kind of traction and interest that this particular role is getting today. Not surprising, because many companies are moving to create products to delight markets, not just individual customers, right? When you delight an individual customer, you are essentially working on a project. Most of the people who come from solutions consulting or implementation or delivery, you are often focused on creating value for one client at a time. Whereas products is creating value for a group of people, for a market at a time, right? So not surprisingly, it's a very, very hot role, both in terms of the impact that this role can create in the organization, and at the same time, fascinating insights, information about the compensation, right? It's one of the highly compensated roles today in the industry. As you can see, a lot of people who move into product management come from these roles. Right. Number one, you see engineering and design, business analysts, consultants, you name it. Many, many disciplines are a starting point for people who move into product management. So don't be surprised if you're coming from one of these things. It is quite common. Also, if you see, given that lots of companies are building products, both startups, mid-level and large companies, even in India, the emphasis on that particular role is very high. There are 43,000 plus job openings just for product managers available today. Excuse me. You can see that United States alone has about 1.8 million PM roles that are there, whereas in India, it's fast growing, but it's still relatively very small in number. You look at the salaries, right? A senior product manager today commands anywhere between 35 to 50 lakhs per annum in India, right? And these are not, made up statistics. In fact, I would request folks from IPL to actually share with all of you a very interesting report, right? A product management benchmark survey report of India 2021, where, fascinating insights in that report given by aspiring product managers, current PMs, and people who are hiring for PMs, right? All those insights are combined into a fascinating report, so you should take a look at it.